Hi, and welcome to another Culture Mavens. I'm Tom Teicholz, and I'm so happy to be here with Rabbi Susan Nanus. Hi, Susan.
Hi, Tom. Hi, everyone. I just want to start off by reminding everyone that tomorrow night, Saturday night, September 12th, is our Slichot, beautiful Slichot program, starting at 6:30 with different classes with different rabbis, and then a service at 8:30. So please join us for that.
That sounds really great.
So what's up, Tom?
So, first of all, the Los Angeles Museum of the Holocaust has rebranded itself as Holocaust Museum LA. And they've got an incredibly great new website, and they're doing all kinds of great pandemic programming. This weekend on Sunday, September 13th, they're going to be live streaming live from Krakow.
Wow.
From the Krakow Jewish Center, a performance by a cellist and pianist who call themselves the Krakow Duo. That'll be at 12 o'clock Pacific time on Sunday. Jan Kalinowski, I hope I'm pronouncing that right, and Mark Selzer will be performing live from the Jewish Center in Krakow, and that should be a real treat.
That sounds great. It seems like this Sunday is the day for music and for programming, because I have two things. The Los Angeles Jewish Symphony with the wonderful Noreen Green, the maestra. She's doing a program called Days of Awe, a celebration of music and renewal. And so they're playing beautiful high holiday music. That's Sunday, September 13th at 7. And then earlier, this is the week 3 of the Israel Philharmonic's live program of chamber music, and that's at 11 a.m. So there's 3 opportunities to hear fantastic music all over the world on Sunday.
Now, UCLA has been doing some great programming too. CAP UCLA, which is their arts program, in an earlier incarnation, in a different form, it was UCLA Live. Now it's creative arts program. They have a number of omnibus discussions coming up. The first is on Thursday, September 17th at 7 p.m. And it's going to have a bunch of contemporary LA artists talking about making art during the pandemic and talking about their artistic practices. The artists include Daniel Alexander Jones, Christina Way, and Constance Hockaday. And in future weeks, they've got a number of great programs coming up, one of which we will tell you about or remind you of when it's time, when it's upcoming, but it's October 8th. They're going to be interviewing Donna Rifkin, who has written a wonderful book called The Sun and Her Stars about Salka Viertel, who was a German Jewish immigrant to Los Angeles, who sort of had the last great artist salon in Santa Monica. She knew everybody in the world, from Sarah Bernhardt and Franz Kafka to she was Greta Garbo's favorite screenwriter to Erwin Shaw and Norman Mailer. She's a great personality, and we'll be telling you more about that.
That sounds really interesting. I wish I could have gone to that salon. Sounds like it would have been great. So believe it or not, there's another program on Sunday, September 13th. And I don't know what's going on, but everybody seems to want to be doing readings or performances of Noel Coward's private lives. Last week it was Kevin Kline. Now Emma Thomson is doing a staged reading online with a theater company in England. So it's going to be live from London, but it will be our time, 11 a.m., private lives with Emma Thomson. So there's, again, something else to do on Sunday. You could spend your whole day just looking at art and music and whatever.
And similarly, if you're, again, looking for things to find online of Jewish interest and Jewish culture, I want to talk for a second about the National Library of Israel. Now, the National Library of Israel is a project that started even before the State of Israel was founded, and that for many years resided as part of Hebrew University. About 5 years ago, they passed a special law to make it an independent agency. It is funded in part by the State of Israel, but also primarily by Yad Hanadiv, which is the Rothschild charities, the Edmund Rothschild charities, now run by Lord Jacob Rothschild in Israel. And they are building a magnificent building right next to the Knesset that is going to be very 21st century in all respects. And it has, among its collections, it's meant to be the repository of all Jewish culture. And so they have in their collection one of the first printed Haggadot from 1492 in Spain, and they have Franz Kafka's Hebrew notebooks, and they are hosting a number of live conversations on Sunday the 13th. But this will be at 8 a.m. LA time. They're hosting a conversation with Tom Friedman, which should be really interesting. And then they also have, you can, through their collection, travel and see Jewish collections of Jewish museums all over the world. And so you can visit the Poland Museum in Warsaw or the Amsterdam Jewish Museum, all through the portal of the National Library of Israel.
Wow. You know, the Warsaw Jewish Museum is supposed to be one of the most spectacular Jewish museums. So ironic, because there are hardly any Jews there. So we have to at least look at it online, if not visit it in person. And speaking of like international Jews all over the world, Beit HaTfutzot, it's used to be called the Museum of the Diaspora, but they decided that was politically incorrect. Now it's called the Museum of the Jewish People. It's based in Israel. They're doing a huge renovation. They are having this incredible virtual tour of Jewish culture all over the world. And like the title of the announcement was, "Are you ready to take off?" And you go through this portal and you basically go into an airport, and then you get your passport, and then you are taken on a trip. You can go to almost any country in the world where there's a Jewish community and see their culture. And this is could be for families. There's an interactive section. It's like you're traveling from your desk, from your laptop, from your desktop to see Jewish culture all over the world. So that looks fantastic. I got sent that by a number of people who wanted to make sure that we announced that. So that's Beit HaTfutzot, bh.org.il. And other than that, we're getting ready for the high holidays, everybody. It's a week away. It'll be, unfortunately, this year online, but it's going to be beautiful. And if anyone knows of any fantastic things that we haven't mentioned, please send it in to us so we can mention it. And we thank you.
And everything we mentioned in this show is available on the temple's website. And yes, as we approach the high holy days, let's all be more mindful of everything we have to be thankful for. Thank you.
Thank you. Bye, everyone. Shabbat Shalom.